Have you ever wondered how a multi-million-dollar agency actually makes their money and grew to that size? Well, today I want to break all of this down for you, talking through one of our agency clients. And I will explain exactly how they get clients, how their model works, and exactly how much money they make in the end. Plus, I'll also explain the biggest challenge that we had in the agency to take them from 1 million to nearly 6 million a year. So to give you a bit of context on who they are and what they do, they're a branding and design agency based on the East Coast in the United States. The first piece that we are going to hit is lead generation, how they actually go about attracting their ideal client. Ultimately, it's a fairly simple system. So what they are looking to do is they have a substantial network of centers of influence. So they developed a network of COIs. The other thing that they did is that they have a network of strategic partners. So all they did was reach out to people that come across their ideal client on a regular basis, either determining whether they are going to be a center of influence where they have influence on the industry, or someone that is going to work with their ideal client immediately before the need for their services. Being able to create a commercial relationship with this strategic partner, either in compensation or in increasing value to what it is that that business is doing, allowing for them to have a consistent source of lead generation, to allow for them to be able to have a mechanism to generate leads on an ongoing basis in a systematic fashion that was incredibly simple. The next piece is sales. There are essentially 3 different stages to their sales process. The first of which is a qualification call, the next is a discovery call, and the final is a proposal. So largely, it's understanding that sales is a journey. In order to be able to make a sale in the ideal price range is to be able to have a conversation with your ideal client about where they are, where they're looking to go. Knowing that the first step in any sales conversation is that they have to have belief in self. They have to believe that they are capable of having that outcome come to fruition. Without it, there is no potential for the agency to have any sales conversation. Then it's about creating safety and trust. Safety that ultimately you are aligned with what they are looking to accomplish and that you're not some Machiavellian-oriented character, but that you actually care about achieving the outcome. And then ensuring that they understand that your system or process is going to reduce the risk level that they have in order to achieve that outcome. And then finally, allowing for in the proposal stage to have them understand and articulate exactly how what investment they are going to have results in what ROI, making sure that everything is very metric based to understand exactly how they can rationalize the decision that this prospective buyer has already made to allow for them to get there. The next piece that I want to chat with you about is what was and what is their price point. So they work primarily on monthly retainers, operating between $40,000 to $80,000 a month. And there's kind of 2 components to this, recognizing that they have some projects and some retainers. So one of the pieces that was really useful here is being able to translate how do you get someone from a project to a retainer. When you're selling a project, what they did is that they sold a project broken down into monthly fees, allowing for us to be able to set the tone with every single client and getting them used to the habit of paying them on a monthly basis. So the entire model was established around the objective of being able to enter into longer term relationships, creating a foundational amount of revenue in the agency to allow for them to grow much easier. One of the most impactful things that we did with this agency is making sure that their price point allowed for them to have the financial resources required to hire in the timing that they needed, allowing for them to be able to achieve the profitability that they wanted and having all the resources they needed both administratively, marketing-wise, across the entire organization to allow for them to be able to grow. And recognizing that ultimately what they were selling was access to their expertise, not exactly a deliverable. And when you're changing the mindset of your prospective buyer, that they need access to your expertise and not specifically a logo or a one sheet or a sales deck, but what they need is access to your mind and to your experience, allowed for us to be able to flip the script for them and get us into a much easier place. Now, getting to the model that allowed for them to be able to build things out in a meaningful way. So largely what they did was they took the retainer model and turned it into an SOW every quarter, allowing for them to be able to understand. So it translates exactly the same thing as a project. Here's the actual deliverables and exactly what we are going to be working against. But every quarter of a retainer being able to go through exactly what they were planning on doing, and then having monthly check-ins to make sure that priorities haven't shifted. So it allowed for us to take every single quarter and continually improve upon their deliverables. Now, how did clients not end up just leaving in the end? So we want to talk about their growth process. And so ultimately, the biggest component around it was strategy. How do we allow for clients to understand the future of what possibility they have, an opportunity in what they were doing? Incredibly important to recognize that it's an opportunity that allows for you to sell the future. You need to align your clients around where you are going. So having strategic conversations on an ongoing basis with the client, allowing for you to be able to always sell the next idea at every single stage in business growth, creates a new challenge, creates a new opportunity for your agency as well as for the client. And if you're always working with your client and being strategic with them, having the role of advisor, and that you are always there, part of the conversation about where they're heading next, you are creating built-in future with your clients. This is one of the key things that loads of agencies miss, is that they're selling the present, and you need to sell future, because once someone does not see a future with you is when they leave. And the final piece that was really astounding, especially when you consider the agency averages across the industry, is that they were able to earn a profit of 35 to 40% profitability to the net profit line, which is crazy considering that the average is 8 to 12% industry-wide. Huge accomplishment when you take the totality of everything that they were doing, bringing in leads that came in warm with built-in authority, being able to have a sales conversation about expertise and advisor status, being able to have the price point continually being able to improve based on the numbers, continuing to have the foundational support of revenue ongoing in a retainer basis, allowed for them to reach incredible heights for profit, always having the financial resources that they needed in order to continue to invest in their growth in the next stage of growth. So if you are inspired after learning how a $5 million agency actually makes its money and profit, why not learn how to scale your own agency? Our video, How to Scale an Agency to $1 Million a Year, can help you with all of that.